Welcome to Astrology of Pierre Poilievre, the inner forces shaping a political voice. Today, I'm bringing a different kind of insight, one that looks at the inner architecture of a public figure. We are diving into the natal chart of Pierre Poilievre, Canada's current leader of the opposition and candidate to become the Prime Minister. In this video, we'll explore the soul blueprint of Pierre through the lens of astrology, looking at his core archetypes, inner challenges, and the deeper forces shaping his voice, leadership, and public presence. This is not a political analysis, but rather a soulful perspective on the energetic patterns that influence the way he shows up in the world. So, whether you're curious about the connection between astrology and leadership, or just want to see how planetary energies play out in real world figures, this exploration will give you a new perspective. I am Laura Tia. Hello. I am an astrologer, energy healer, and soulful business mentor. I guide purpose driven individuals to align their work, their leadership, and life with their soul's truth using a blend of modern and shamanic astrology as well as energy healing. So, before we dive in, I want to share a quick note. We don't have Pierre Poilievre's exact time of birth. That means that some parts of the natal chart, like the sacred cross, like ascendant, descendant, the exact house placements and the angles remain unknown. So today's exploration won't be a complete analysis, but rather a focused interpretation of the planets, the archetypes they represent, the signs they're in, and the dialogues these planets are having with one another. So, even without a birth time, these planetary placements offer a very powerful insight into the energetic forces shaping someone's inner world, their life path, their career, and public expression. And that's exactly what we'll be tuning into. I wish we had the exact time of birth, though. That would be amazing, but we need to work with what we have. So, one of the first things that we explore when I explore when I am doing an analysis of someone's birth chart is I go under the view of shamanic astrology. So instead of looking first into the sun sign, we look into the moon sign or the moon tribe. Why? Because these will give a lot of insights into what that individual needs to express in order to feel fulfillment. If someone does not give space in their day to day to express and to do the sacred tasks that that moon tribe or moon sign is asking, they're not going to feel fulfilled. They can have all the money in the world, the best career in the world, have everything, but they will still feel empty. So, to feel that satisfaction, we need to express the moon tribe. And Pierre is part of the group of souls that belonging to the moon tribe in Virgo. So this is the path of service, of healing, of practical wisdom. He will feel emotional fulfilled by offering support, by being of service, by creating a structure, by improving what's around him. Virgos are great at analyzing things. What is not working? What is working? Taking that and making improvements to make things more efficient. They have a clinical eye for improvement. There is an emotional need for them to be useful, to be efficient, and reliable. So, him being part of this moon tribe, it's it's amazing for him to be in the area he's in because he really needs to be of service. And he is deeply in tune to detail and will thrive in creating order. Virgos are great at creating order out of chaos. So, what are some of the dialogues or the dialogues that are the moon are having with other planets? What type of conversations? So, we will look into the when you see here in the middle the lines that are red, those are conversations that are kind of tense. The blue lines are conversations that these planets are having with one another that is like very soft, very in tune, very much in flow. So the moon in Virgo is having a square. That means there's tension there with Mercury in Gemini. So this means that his mind may jump ahead, jumping into conclusions. His mind goes very fast. This is the Mercury is in a sign where it's dignified, so it's on a sign that it rules, Gemini. And on top, he's in conjunction with the Sun, that is also in Gemini. So he's very smart. He's very, very intelligent, and he's very good at thinking on his feet. He's very good at communicating. He has a facility to give answers to think quickly on his feet. But there can be a tendency to overanalyze emotions or rationalize feelings instead of fully experiencing them. He will be looking to seek precision. It's also, the moon in Virgo is also in a trine with Venus in Taurus. That Venus in Taurus is also dignified. So it's really in a good sign, a sign that it rules. So this gives him a, a lot of emotional grace and tact. There is a capacity for him to be calm, to be centered, he has also a very soothing presence, even in moments of stress. So this is a beautiful connection where it gives him the ability also to connect to others at a deeper level, to understand their feelings, understand where they're coming from. Also, gives him a good eye for the arts. So he has a sensibility to appreciate art. I wouldn't be surprised if he does do some type of art, either, I don't know, painting, drawing, photography, etc. But something with related to art, it wouldn't be surprising to me. He also has a square. This moon in Virgo has a square with Neptune in Sagittarius. So let's remember that Neptune is the planet of confusion, of idealism, of spirituality. So there's can be sometimes a little bit of confusion between his emotions, having like that inner conflict between what's real and what he can make a reality and what it can be idealized. So here discernment is key. What can be some of the challenges that he could be experiencing and what needs to be alchemized? The pressure of being perfect, of needing to be perfect himself, maybe demanding or wanting others to be perfect, that other people's actions will be as perfect as his actions. That can really add a lot of pressure for himself and for others. Having a certain tension between thought and feeling can be another thing that can be challenging, and having also like that difficulty trusting his emotional emotional feelings, right? Let's look now then into the sacred tasks, or the sacred cross that is formed by the ascendant, the descendant, the immoncoeli, and the midheaven. So because we don't have, unfortunately, the exact time of birth, we are unable to really identify what's his ascendant and what's his rising sign. This will give us a lot of information about how he's seen by others, what type of energy he expresses first, and what is also that new energy that needs to be expressed in this lifetime. So we can't really tell. But I can still see, for example, we will pay attention in the fact that there is a lot of Taurus energy with the stellium in Taurus and another stellium in Virgo. So he has a lot of earth elements and also air. So that gives us an idea that he is very, like I said, very smart, but he needs to bring practicality in his daily work, in his work. With the descendant is the way he connects to others, the way he relates to others. It can be not only interpersonal relationships like love relationships, but also business. This is all in relationships, right? So as I don't have it again, I would look into Venus, and Venus is in the sign of Taurus. So again, he is very interested in creating long lasting relationships. I think that friendships for him, he's very loyal when he's looking for, when dealing with relationships. He is someone also that will take his time to develop a real friendship with someone or a real relationship. He's not someone that from the get go will say, okay, we're friends. No, he will take his time and he needs to see what your intentions are. He will care for developing a relationship with someone that he shares values with, that they care for the same thing, and that they also want to build something that will be in there in long term. He is probably also very tactile when he is in a relationship. And we can see when he is talking in his rallies, he's not only shaking hands, and you can see that it's like it's natural for him. Like he is not awkward when he's relating to people. He makes people feel comfortable. This is all a Venus in Taurus, that they can trust in him, and he's giving hugs. And you can see also that when he gives that hug, he's not like some politicians that is like, I'm giving the hug because I have to. But no, he seems that he wants to do it. He's comfortable in his body. So that's what I would look at in terms of relationship. In terms of the Imokweli, this is all the influences that give us a hint of his family, his roots, the culture, the caretakers, the society around him, the roots where he's coming from. And this is also an energy that we need to not detach. We need to integrate, but at the same time, we need to separate ourselves from that energy in terms of identity in order to be able to move towards the midheaven. This means that I need to learn to connect to and learn from the experiences of childhood, of my family, my culture, but not be attached to them, not allow this story of the Imukoeli to stop me from moving towards the midheaven, right? Um, but because we don't have an exact time, I would still look at the moon and what it's telling us and the south node that is in Pisces. So we can tell that maybe in a previous life, he was very much in tune also with his emotions. I think that's why he seems like he's a sensitive person that cares for others, that cares for someone's story, about someone else's experience, because Pisces is ruled by Neptune. And it is the sign of connection to others, connecting to like that feeling of we're all one. It comes from Neptune. So, but it's also the a sign that is very spiritual, very emotional, but there's also a lot of idealism there. So he most likely was maybe an artist, someone that was very in tune with those emotions. In terms of the family, I would say that because it's in Virgo, that probably that sense of security and that sense of being loved was very much related also to performance, how well he would have performed, maybe a feeling that I need to perform in order to have that safety, in order to, I need to be perfect in order to have that expressions of being loved and being cared for. The midheaven, it is another point that we would look at. It's really the vocation and what is the way someone really uses those qualities and those talents and gifts in order to put them in service to the world. He has a lot of earth energy. So, what I'm thinking, Taurus or Virgo. So, what I think is that it is showing an emphasis of the importance in terms of a vocational path that is based on value building, on being responsible, on having a leadership or showing a leadership that is rooted in practicality and doing the things right and doing things that is really connected to values. Right. So, just to summarize this here, there's a lot of grounded energy with earth and air. So, communication and intellect is very much present in him in terms of the sacred cross. He expresses much the need to have long term planning, to improve things, and to contribute to society through systems, service, and sharing his voice. Let's go to the next point I would look at is also the lunar nodes. So these will show someone the soul's path that they came here to walk. Okay, so where someone comes from, the south node, and where the soul needs to go, which is the north node. So the soul here is moving from emotional and maybe on a structure because of Pisces, confusion, and yes, spirituality and emotions, moving to an idealism. That's another thing. Idealism, moving towards patterns that are more related to precision, to discernment, to efficiency, and to practicality. So, like I said, in previous lifetimes, he may have experienced that emotionality and maybe not a lot of boundaries with Pisces. But then in this lifetime, he comes to take all of that as an ability to connect to people, an ability to understand the suffering of others, where someone else is coming from, and take that move to something with more structure and create and have accountability. So another point that I also look at in terms of that birth chart is how a person can use all of that information of the soul qualities, gifts, talents, and create something that is real in the world. How can I bring all of that down to earth and create something meaningful and that is connected to the soul's abilities and the soul gifts? So the second house, it is about values and resources, and it's really rooted in Taurus. In this case, also, uh, again, we don't have the exact house time, so we cannot know where these planets are placed in the chart. But traditionally, the Venus is rules the second house, which is the house of Taurus, and he has definitely a lot of Taurus energy. So this means that he values, like Pierre, have a big sense, a strong sense of value and security in building things that are tangible, that things that bring tangible results through loyalty and endurance. And honestly, he has so much earth sign here, earth element here, that it tells me that he has had to work hard to be where he's at. Nothing has been given to him. He worked for it. Virgo, the sixth house is a house also that influences and highlights the day to day, the work someone does. And these highlights the work ethic and the dedication. So service through Virgo is really performed for him through that organization structure and having high standards here also with Saturn in Virgo as well. The 10th house is another earth house that I would normally look at in terms of how can I connect my career to my purpose, which is, how can I express and play and express that vocation. And for him, this vocation and career is really in alignment with a long-term vision. So leadership really emerges through having integrity and being efficient and having charisma. He's a very charismatic individual as well. What are the challenges that we can see when we say all of these? We see all of these earth elements in a chart. Sometimes they can overwork. They can care a lot about productivity, and then they can become controlling in that sense. And they can, one of the challenges also for someone that has all this earth energy and Virgo moon is having resistance sometimes to receive help. It's very easy for them to give it, but receive it, that can be challenging. Over identifying with the work I do or my responsibility of the results of my work can be also heavy. All of this can bring a lot of pressure, self pressure to be efficient, to produce, to do. It can be very draining. So he will need to find the way also to have moments of, of peace, of inner calm, of something that will give him pleasure in doing, like a hobby. Hopefully he does. So Pierre is definitely someone who's has a lot of qualities here. It's showing a lot of abilities and talents and gifts where he will feel fulfillment in offering service that is reliable and that is long term. We're also going to talk about his ability of communication, but he's definitely a builder of something meaningful, of something that is consistent, and a very thoughtful type of leadership. Another point then, and this is we're very close to the end, is Venus, Jupiter, Mars, and the Sun. All of that combined, we are really looking into abundance, success, and motivation. So, like I said, he has a Sun in Gemini. This means that he's defined through communication, through adaptability also. Let's remember that Gemini is a mutable sign. So they can adapt themselves to the situation that is being in place, they transition easily into one task and another, one situation and another, one theme and another, right? And they are very intellectual and have a lot of curiosity. And with conjunct Mercury, honestly, like I said, quick thinker, great communicator, a lot of persuasion. He has a square with Saturn. So he can feel limited sometimes to express in the way he would want and say what he would want also. This has given him maybe a big sense of being responsible with the words I use and what I say. The Sun in Gemini is opposition to Neptune in Sagittarius. This is when we see opposition, imagine a band that one side is pulling to Neptune and the other one is pulling to the Sun. And it can feel conflicting. So on one side, we have that idealism, spirituality, and especially in Sagittarius, there is a lot of idealism here. And then on the other side is logic, the intellectual. So for him, this is like a battle in terms of idealism versus logic or clarity, and diffusion with precision. The Sun is making a trine with Pluto, a transgenerational. So this gives him a great ability to think deeper, to see deeper. Being in Libra, also caring about the the best for everybody, having that balance in life. So deep insight and a very transformative way of thinking and communicating as well, because Mercury and the Sun are both doing that trine with Pluto. So transformative speech and a visionary, really. Venus in Taurus. I love this combination here of Venus in Taurus and Mars in Taurus. They're both in conjunction, and this is really the marriage of the masculine and the feminine. And this, with Venus and the combination of both, this gives a very explosive and magnetic way of connecting, of taking action, of being in his body, and creates a very magnetic abundance as well. His Venus is also about values and beauty. So Venus is rooted in loyalty, in consistency, in depth. So for him, success will come through expressing his values, through creating stability and not rushing into things, because Mars in Taurus doesn't rush, doesn't just take action just because. It really takes a well thought action. It's thinking, creating a plan before doing. So I like this combination. Honestly, this is very magnetic and gives him a lot of determination as well. Venus is in opposition to Uranus. This means that really he will look for creating balance, but at the same time having freedom. With Mars in Taurus, like I said, he's steady when he takes a decision. He's committed in terms of the way he acts, his drive. He works best with long term goals. That's another thing, because Taurus, it's about one thing at a time, taking my time to analyze and to create a plan and have that consistent progress. Another point here is Jupiter in Leo. This gives him a lot of magnetism as well. Oh, I made a mistake here. Hold on a second. Did I? Oh, okay. Okay. I just forgot to change the slide. So Jupiter in Leo, it's really about a growth that comes through a heart-centered type of leadership. This is a heart-led leadership and creating visible contributions. This is a combination of a lot of charisma, someone that wants to lead from the heart, someone that is also connected to that inner child that wants to have fun in what he's doing, but that he believes in what he's doing as well. Because Jupiter is about our life philosophy, our expansion of the mind, learning. And with Leo, this is about connecting to the heart and expressing through that authenticity. This is about being authentic. So, abundance for him in general, when I look at everything, is really access through that clarity, through consistency, and having a presence that is heart led and grounded. And this is not about speed, but about doing something that is sustainable. All right. So, my final message, or my closing message and reflection here, is that Pierre is here really like his chart reflects a path of heart-led leadership, steady leadership, rooted values, and thoughtful communication, thoughtful expression. He he's here to bring a structure, to innovate, to make things more efficient, to change things for the better through grounded service. I think that there is a lot of potential here for him to do a lot of great things. And he can fulfill, and I hope he does, that he can fulfill his mission of building something that lasts. So if you have some questions about this chart, and if something was sparked in you, you are curious about what your own chart says, and you have any comments, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. Actually, I would love to know what you think about this analysis of Pierre's chart. I think his shows this chart shows a tremendous discipline, a great mastery in communication, a lot of responsibility. But let me know what you think. What do you think? I really thank you for listening. Again, if this insight has sparked something in you, and please let me know in the comments. What do you see in the archetypes of that we have discussed in this chart, and how they relate to Pierre Public's life? Um, I don't know. Let me know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you would love to have more soulful astrology content, especially those ones related to purpose, leadership, business, and personal growth. If you're curious about exploring your own soul blueprint, please visit my website, laurag.com. Remember to follow me at Soulful with Laura on YouTube. And you can find me also on TikTok at Laura Tio. So thank you for watching. And remember, the cosmos is always reflecting back the truth of who you are. Thank you and take care.